Assalamu alaikum. Myself Asna Sarfaraz. I am from Aligarh. Today's my topic is women's empowerment, the need for silence breaking and interdependence. Thank you for that kind introduction. Thank you for your warm welcome. I want to express my deep gratitude to Mr. Shamsheer Ahmed from Deoban for invited me to speak on this special occasion. Let me extend my warmest Republic Day greeting to all of you. On this occasion of Republic Day, I wish all of you and India a wonderful, prosperous, and peaceful and one nation under God. As one nation under God, India will be a land of big dreams, small treasures, brave people, kind deeds, and tender mercies. We can do this not by looking to the heavens and to the gods whom we worship by, but by looking at the earth and the people and the family that we are. Let me now get back to my speech. I have spoken to NCAIA gathering and other audience to celebrate India's Republic and Independence Day on several occasions. That I must state equivocally, however, that I have never given a more important speech on any of those days. That the one that I will deliver this evening, that is so because of my topic, which is women's empowerment, or as I have titled by remarks, women's empowerment, the need for silence breaking and interdependence. Let me begin my talk by talking about the need for silence breaking. These magazines this year named the woman who disclosed the sexual harassment that had been committed against them by the rich and powerful as its persons of the year for 2017. Time labeled this woman the silence breakers. They came out of the shadows to call attention to a form of harassment that should never have been tolerated, but it was. They were engaged in silence breaking. Because of the status of Indian women today, there is a critical need for silence breaking. This silence breaking should not be about sexual harassment, but about an invisible socio-economic system of barriers, obstacles, and limitations that prevents Indian women from learning, advancing, and achieving their full potential. This is true, especially in terms of business ownership and entrepreneurships. Various studies have shown that Indian women entrepreneurs are among the most disadvantaged in the world. They are underpaid, undervalued, are exploited in spite of an increase of women business owners and operators over the past several years. Entrepreneurs still remains a male bastion. A recent study by the National Sample Survey Organization found that only 14% of Indian business establishments are run by females. The same study disclosed that most of the women run businesses get very little support from financial institutes, with about 79% being self financed. These are bothersome findings. Even more bothersome is what is discovered when the status of women entrepreneurs is compared to that of women entrepreneurs around the world. In 2015, the Global Entrepreneurship and Development Institute JEDI issued a report containing its female entrepreneurship index ranking countries with respect to the condition present that will fuel high potential female entrepreneurship development. India was near the bottom two on the index, ranking 70 out of 77 countries. In 2017, MasterCard issued its Index of Women Entrepreneurship, ranking countries based on an assessment of women's and advancement of outcomes, knowledge, assist, and financial access, and supporting entrepreneurships conditions. India ranked 49th out of 54 countries on the MasterCard Index. The MasterCard report reinforced the dismal finding of the other studies, but that report offered a glimmer of hope by observing there is significant potential of harness the untapped potential of Indian women's entrepreneurships. I firmly believe that we can harness that untapped potential by working together to move Indian women to a state of interdependence. I will devote the rest of any time to talking about we and what you can do to help create that state of interdependences. In my opinion, there is empowerment continuum with the 3 points on it. First, dependence, in which a woman has no power or control over her life or outcomes. Second, independence, which is the midpoint where a woman has developed the necessary knowledge, skills, abilities, the attitude to be a liberty and self actualizing. Third, an interdependence, where a woman is empowered to sit in full equality with man to influence and make decisions and establish direction for a family, a business, a community, a region, or a nation. How do we collaborate to help create a state of interdependence for Indian women? Have you no idea? I recommend doing it by applying 3 by E formula. Those E's are education, enlightenment, and entrepreneurship. These E are intervened, but the empowerment of women and movement toward a state of interdependence must begin with education, especially for those from the weaker sections. The 2011 census showed that the literacy rate in India was just over 74%. The rate for males was saliently above 82%, and the rate for women was only 65%. That is not good news in terms of having a sound universal platform for the empowerment of women. No, seriously, that is not a good news in terms of having sound universal platform for the empowerment of women. In education, is the starting line and higher education is the finish line. For become fully empowered, these statistics indicate that not enough women even get to the starting line and very few get to the finish line. This must change. Women must be able to participate along the entire educational continuum. This is participation is pivotal for the future of a country. Future of a country. For the individual woman, education itself is empowering. It removes the shackles of ignorance. It builds self instinct and confidence. A good education is the key to opportunity and a bridge to the future. It is a powerful equalizer to lift women out of poverty. For the family, education prepares the woman to be a change agent. Too many families, especially families from the socially and economically advantaged section, are trapped in poverty because of a lack of education. With her own education, the woman can educate and equip her children to escape the trap. For India, education delivers on the promise of the largest representative democracy in the world. Central to that promise are equality, opportunity, and inclusive economic mobility. Education level the playing field and makes that promise a reality. We as Indian Americans with a love for our motherland and our own mothers have an obligation to reach out to assist the public and private sectors in India is providing the appropriate education and the primary school level to ensure the necessary foundation of empowerment of women. That's the first E, education. The second E, enlightenment, which comes is part through higher education. In the 21st century, higher education is becoming more important for climbing the ladder of success and empowerment. Enlightenment usually occurs as higher education because it is there that a person gains not only the knowledge, skills, and abilities that are necessary for success, but can also come to the recognition of what is possible and realize that by aiming high and working hard that they can accomplish the possible and control their own destiny. Personal enlightenment is an essentially requirement for the empowerment of women. When we empower and educate women, then they will be in the forefront of empowering the women, who will then educate the empower other women, and the cycle will continue. This brings me to final E, entrepreneurship. I highlighted the sad statistics of women, Indian women, business entrepreneurs near the beginning of my speech. But entrepreneurship is not limited to business, it can and must occur in all fields and professions: education, engineering, health science, law, politics, and information technology, to name just a few. The development of women entrepreneurship in all of those fields will ensure multi-pronged progress in terms of the pursuit of interdependence of women across the board. We need to encourage and support this development. I recommend a three-pronged approach for that development. Those prongs should be educate and empower women to become entrepreneurs, ensure adequate financial resources to support their entrepreneurial ventures, provide mentoring to promote success in the entrepreneurship. The education for women to become entrepreneurs should be multifaceted, stressing not only book learning but also providing the hands-on skills and abilities required to run business. It should also be direct toward preparing women to interfield in which there are too few female business owners today, such as information technology, manufacturing, and engineering. Numerous studies have found that women in emerging markets have much more difficulty in securing loans than men, and have to rely on their own financing. We need to provide venture capital support to help women start and grow businesses unless they come from a family that has a business or who have worked in a business. Women entrepreneurs have seen no role models and have no coaching on how to start, run, and build a business. A mentoring program can fill the gap. Fill that gap. I hope that many of you in this audience have made commitments to support the empowerment of women. There is an urgent need for women's inclusions at all levels in our economy. It in closing, thank you for being there here today and listen to me. I hope that I have given you additional food for thought on women's empowerment, and that you will be willing to join me in this journey as a partner in the silence breaking and increasing the interdependence of Indian women. Okay, God bless you all, and let us together make India and US leaders internationally in the empowerment of women.